Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever one this podcast is reaching you on right now. I'm your host of the Sons to Fathers Nugget, David L. March, better known as the Big Brother. Oh, thank you. Well, I want to thank you and take this time out to say thank you again for tuning in today to the Sons to Fathers Nugget. Now, with that said, we've been talking about, the past couple podcasts about the things and the challenges of raising your daughter, raising your son. But as I sit here and I think about today's show, which is, it's kind of even difficult for me to say, just even conceive this. Wow. Anyway, the title of this show is going to be Things You Must Teach Your Daughter Before She Turns 16. And this is just simply because there's things that Krista and I have done, or we are part of even now, that cause us to reflect on these things, this particular topic, and specifically about things that we are to teach our daughter before she turns 16. And we tried. Our oldest daughter is 19 right now, and our youngest daughter, our last daughter, our favorite second daughter, is about to be 18 on the 13th of April. Wow. Sorry, it took me a minute there. I had to step back and process that for a minute. Wow. April 13th, she's going to be 18 years old. Wow. And then she's going to be leaving soon. Chris and I were just looking at this the other day. She's going to be leaving for the military soon. Starting off on her new life in her career. Taylor left when she was 19. She's soon to be 20 in a few months. And all I can sit back and think about is, God, I hope I have poured into them the things that they needed. Chris and I have poured into them the things that they needed to be upstanding citizens, lovers of God, and just the right things as they grow up and become, individuals on their own. That's amazing. And our son has got 3 more years, and then he's out of here. Man, time goes by so fast. And with that said, you can't help but wonder if you actually put or installed the right things or done the right things with your daughters before they left the house, before they moved out on their own. And so, like I said, with Chris and I thinking about this, we wonder, so what are some of those things that we have poured into them? And is this going to be something that they can use? So I'm asking you now, so what are some of those things? I'm getting ready to tell you some of those things that we hope our daughters, plural, has let into their life, and that they're going to use these steps and these principles and these things to help push them forward, and they can build their own life off of these things. Now, what are the things you must teach your daughter before she turns 16? Here are 16 things you must teach your daughter before she turns 16. The first one, teach her that she is loved. When your daughter knows she is loved, she feels more secure and more self-confident. Now get this. You teach her this by your words and your actions with her. How many of you remember the saying, actions speak louder than words? When you show her that she's loved, your daughter, before she turns 16, when you show her that she's loved unconditionally, she'll be more apt talk with you, communicate with you, have an open dialogue with you. Number 2, to defend herself. A dad's worst nightmare is his daughter's having to defend herself. We won't always be around, dads. Like I said, my daughter is 19, Taylor's 19, and she's moved out. And the other day, I had to explain to her, Daddy won't always be around, so you're going to have to learn these things. But I'm here for you now, but I won't always be around. So it's very important that you pay attention to these things, baby girl. Now, we won't always be around to stand up physically for her, but it's important to teach her some ways to defend and protect herself. Now, I've taught my daughters how to shoot a gun, how to swing a bat, pressure points, and things like that. That's more of a physical thing. But something else that's really important is teaching them how to become aware of situations that can be harmful to them, or situations that if they find themselves into, how to get out of those situations. Number 3, to respect and be respected by others. Excuse me. Now, not everyone will have the same level of respect we have for our daughters. It'd be nice if we did, but we don't. We must teach them respect is not acceptable, or disrespect, I'm sorry. We must teach them that disrespect is not acceptable for any reason. We also must teach our daughters the best ways to ensure this is to respect or treat others how they'd like to be treated. The Bible talks about that. Treat others as you would want to be treated. Love like Jesus loved the church. Prefer your brother or your sister. Think more highly of them than yourself. You know, Scripture tells us not to think highly of ourselves, but to be humble and servitude for our fellow man. Love your neighbors as yourself. Those are all basic biblical principles that have even we, the less likely of disciples or Christians, even if we just apply those particular ones right there, we'll be fine. Okay? Now, number 4, basic car maintenance, like changing the oil or a tire. Now, hopefully she'll never have to do this, your daughter, my daughter. But if she has a flat on the side of the road, you want her to be able to change the tire and get to her destination safely. While car maintenance can be done by paying someone else to do it, having the skill to do it on your own is very helpful. And I encourage you, Father, if you have not done so, teach your daughters how to change a tire. Teach your daughter how to check her fluids. Teach your daughter how to change her fluids. Check your transmission fluid. Check the battery level. Check the antifreeze level. Check the oil level. Check the tire pressure gauge. Well, most cars nowadays let you know if your air is getting low, but teach them how to do those things. Teach them basic car maintenance. You won't regret it. Trust me. That way it'll keep them from getting taken advantage of too by dealerships or mechanics or garages, that, you know, mechanic garages. Number 5, never let anyone say you can't do something. You have to teach her this, that nobody has a right to tell them they cannot do something, and that they can achieve and be and do anything that they put their mind to if it's in the will of God. We got to keep God a part of these 16 things, because if not, then they become carnal. And if they become carnal, then they're fleshly. And then our flesh rises up, and God is no longer the center of our joy, but our flesh is. She'll have many doubters and naysayers in life, some because she's a woman, and some because that's just who they are. Now, what the doubters say doesn't matter. What the haters say doesn't matter. Now, we've taught our daughter since she was little that she can do all things through Christ, who gives her strength, right? which comes from the book of Philippians. So if you've been instilling that, reinstitute that, reinstall that into her, refresh that in her memory, that as she gets older, that she has the ability to do all things through Christ, which strengthens her. Number six. Hey, man. Time out on number 6. Man, Jason, it's a good thing you called, man. I am sitting here online, actually on the podcast right now, and I'm talking about the 16 things we should tell our daughters before they turn 16. Now, I know that you have sons, but you've seen different fathers and the way they carry their daughters and how they promote their daughters and how they handle their daughters. And with you being married, you've seen how your father-in-law has related to your wife. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. So, with that in mind, I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot, bro, but you know I love you to life.
I know it.
Can you give these fathers a little bit of insight on something that they might need to help them, especially if they're raising their daughters right now? I mean, like I said, I know you have a son, you have sons, but even if it's just a word of prayer for them, man, you know, that would be awesome. I told you I was going to have a special guest on, and this is my brother from another mother, man. This is my Jonathan. His name is Jason, but this is my Jonathan because I'm David, of course. But, you know, this is my brother, man. I love this guy to life. You have no idea how much I love this guy right here.
No, it's all good. It is all good. Oh, let's see. Word of advice for fathers there of daughters. Man, teach your daughters to respect, to honor. Too many times we have a culture now that is telling our young women that they don't need their spouse, they don't need the male in this world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the way God designed it.
That's right.
God designed it to be such that they need the man. They're equal in so many ways. But that's what God created it. That's the way He created it, you know?
That's right.
I mean, bring her out. Let her see. Let your daughter see the way you love their mother.
That's it. Absolutely.
Right there. I mean, let them see the way you care for her, the way you care for her, the way Jesus cares for His bride, for the church.
Mm.
That right there is going to take it far for you.
Absolutely. And I couldn't have said it better myself. And especially since... What's that?
Yeah, if she sees that coming out of you, she's going to know what to look for in a man. Because she's going to want somebody to treat her like her daddy treats your mama.
That's right. And you know, on the flip side of that, if the daughters, as the sons, see you, how you treat your wife, then they're going to follow suit in that as well.
Exactly.
So that's an awesome point, bro. I love you for that, man. I love you for more than that too. But man, that's just so important, and how you brought it to the forefront like that, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Well, man, we got 8 more things we need to go over. But would you like to lead us in a word of prayer real quick before we keep going?
Sure.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Lord, I thank you for this day, for this time that is set aside to love and honor you,
Yes.
to worship you, and worship you in our conversation that is totally centered around you. Lord, I thank you for every father that is raising their daughters, and every father that is raising their sons, and every father who is not even yet a father, but he and his wife are considering the gift of children.
In Jesus' name. Yes.
Lord, would you build them now? Teach them the ways of you. Teach them your ways. Help them to grow in you, Lord. Allow your love to be the center of the relationship. In Jesus' name.